What's going on, everyone? Thanks for tuning into the video. So just to kind of keep you guys up to date and abreast of what's happening, I actually may be selling the car behind me. It's my 2017 Corvette Grand Sport. And yes, I know when I got it, I said, you know what, I was happy to be back in a C7. I'd missed a C7, wasn't going to get rid of it. And I really didn't have any plans to, but if I do end up getting rid of it, and I should know in a couple of days here, I will let you know exactly the reason why I'm getting rid of it, where it's going, what's happening with it, and go from there. But you guys know me. Once I potentially think a vehicle could be leaving, I start looking around and I start thinking, okay, well, what can I replace the vehicle with? So my first thoughts were a Hellcat. I really wanted to get a Challenger Hellcat. It is a vehicle I considered before I bought this car, but I'm thinking that with what I would get out of this car and what I would end up spending on a Hellcat, I'm really not going to put any money in my pocket, and that is a big goal here, is to put a little bit of money back in my pocket for projects, rainy day, that type of thing. So I'm thinking maybe a Hellcat, not right now, unless I found one that was just absolutely perfect, set up the way that I wanted it to be, and was the right price. Probably not a Hellcat, although I'm not closed-minded to that. So I started thinking about, well, I don't really have a vehicle from the 90s era. I have a lot of eras covered in the shop, but I don't have the 90s ever since I got rid of my Acura NSX. Now, I could certainly get another NSX, but it would be more miles than the one I had before, and I would end up being kind of in the same boat as with the Hellcat. I would end up spending most of the money just to get that back, and probably end up putting a little money into it and really be no better off, and I don't really want to do that. So I've been kind of looking around, and truthfully I was really serious about maybe getting a C4 ZR1. I think they're very cool cars, very amazing cars, very iconic cars. Values are holding pretty steady right now, and I actually found one, and the guy and I were emailing back and forth and talking about the possibility, and he sent me a lot of pictures and videos and stuff like that. But when it came right down to it and we started negotiating, we were like $250 away on the price. And you know, the fact that it's like 4 or 5 hours away, I can't really go see it right now. I would have to have it shipped. And really the big concern for me is that he didn't want to smog the car, and he was really trying to avoid that. And in California, it's a big thing. You really got to have anything 76 or newer. It's got to pass smog, it's got to pass emissions, and it can be a nightmare to get it there. So I ended up gracefully bowing out of that one. So I actually found a 1991 GMC Cyclone, and very local, but it's on an auction website. So I went and I looked at it, and it's a nice little truck. It's clean, miles are good. It would need some money put into it, but depending on where this auction goes and where it ends up or what have you, I could probably pick that up, and I could probably put the money into it and still be money ahead and be doing really good. But as you guys know, I had a Typhoon, and I don't know, when I drove the Cyclone, I mean, it was cool. It was cool to take it out and get into it a little bit and everything like that. It did bring back the memories of the Typhoon, but I'm kind of like, well, I had a Typhoon. So for me, a lot of times it's like been there, done that. It just so happened that this is the same guy that has the Cyclone also had a 1990 Chevy SS454 pickup, another vehicle that I thought would be cool to own. I know they're not fast. I know they're nothing special now and by today's standards, but I took it for a drive. I liked the way it drove. Miles were just a little over 100,000 on it. He also had it on an auction website. So we talked a little bit, and quite honestly, I probably would have bought that truck outright, but he doesn't seem like he wants to do the smogs. I know this truck, the SS, had a check engine light, which tells me it's probably not going to smog and would need a little bit of work, and I just don't think he wanted to dive into that. I'm not sure about the Cyclone. He seems to think it'll smog and won't be any problems or whatever, but that's another issue that I'm having. So along with this 90s theme, I'm also considering possibly looking at maybe, and I know this might come as a shock to some people, but looking at a Dodge Stealth RT twin turbo. I think those vehicles were kind of neat. They're kind of rare. I happen to find one about 2 hours from me right now, very clean. I would like to go look at it. It has very low miles on it. I just don't really want to make any moves for that vehicle, or really any other vehicle, until this one sells. So that's kind of got me with the brakes on right now, and a kind of a holding pattern at the moment. Like I said, hopefully in the next couple of days I'll know what's going on with this one and know the plans, and then I can start moving forward. But I don't really know. What do you guys think? Now, if I did buy the Stealth, I would have a pretty decent amount of cash left over. Hopefully there wouldn't be a lot. I would do the Stealth, probably a couple things, but nothing major. I would probably have enough money left over to maybe go out and buy something else. What that would be, I don't know. It could be another older muscle car, something unique, something different. Could be a newer one. Another thing that I was kind of thinking about just in general was a newer, maybe 5th generation Camaro, maybe an SS. Can pick those up fairly reasonable, and they're good performance vehicles. If I didn't buy the Stealth, I might even look at maybe going up to a ZL1 Camaro, and that may be something kind of cool to have because I've never had one of those. So yeah, I know I'm going in like 1,000 different directions, and definitely not apples to apples, a lot of apples to oranges here. But you know, I like to have stuff that I really haven't had before, something different, something unique, something I can say, yeah, I own that, and had fun with it for a little while. So I don't know. It just depends. It depends on a lot of things, but I wanted to let you guys know. I wanted to keep you guys up to date. I also wanted to get your input. Leave me a comment down below. What do you think? Should I go into the 90s era, get something there? Maybe something I'm not thinking about? Should I get a newer vehicle? I mean, certainly maybe a Scat Pack Challenger. I had one of those. I loved that car. I'm kind of sorry I got rid of it. I would probably want to get another one that's Sublime Green. I would probably want to get one that's a manual transmission this time, but that's always a possibility. Or maybe in a SRT 392. I don't know. What do you guys think? Maybe there's something I'm not even thinking about. I don't know. So let me know in the comments. I would greatly appreciate it. As always, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Venmo, P.O. Box, Instagram, all that stuff's going to be down there in the description below. And yeah, as always, God bless. Take care. Guys, have an absolutely amazing day.